Now, Louise, we've often talked about the importance in the value of the Sussexes brand being tied to the proximity to the royal family. As we get closer to the coronation, that appears to be even more so, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Hi, Caro. So they've done Netflix, they've done Spare, they've done Oprah, and really they do see the royal family as some kind of giant ATM. So in order to maintain that currency and maintain their lifestyle, Harry, of course, has to go to the coronation. Of course, you think he'd want to be there for his father. It's the biggest day of his father's life. But really, what it does also provide is the next chapter for the Sussex narrative, which is how was he treated? Was he snubbed or was he embraced? That gives them an avenue to pursue once he goes back to California itself, which is rather sad, but I think realistically it's another great money-spinning opportunity for them both.
Absolutely. And Bronte, do you think the Sussex brand is impacted at all by Meghan not attending?
I do think it's impacted, but I also think they weighed it up. And the reality is they were facing a very strong likelihood that she may have even been booed when she was there. We saw that happen when the couple were back in England for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. And either way, we did say all along it was very likely that at least one of them was going to attend, if not both. So they did have to have at least one of them there representing them because they need that currency, that connection to the royal family. But I do think in the long run, Meghan was in a situation where either side wasn't going to be good for her. They've weighed it up, and in the long run, it's probably better for her to bow out gracefully, so to speak, and not be there just in case there is that negative reaction from the British public.
Now, Louise, you've worked as a journo in London. This front page of the Daily Express, it really squeezes out every bit of drama around the coronation and the royal family. Do you think that they have a point, at least insofar as highlighting how important it is for the royal family to be engaged with the community?
Look, I do think they do. The Queen's mantra, or one of her mantras very much was the royal family had to be seen to be believed. They have to be out there in the community, get out of the palaces, get out amongst the normal people in the UK. And this Sunday Express story, when I read it today, I messaged the editor, Dave Wooding, who's a friend of mine and an ex-colleague. We work together in London. And I said to him, this really does illustrate the need for the younger royals to step up and really take over the mantle. Because you look at Charles is 74, Camilla's 75, Princess Anne is 72. So it's time for the younger ones to really take on some of the burden of all the royal duties and really to remain relevant. And that pressure I see is very much on William and Kate's shoulders.
And I think that is a really good point. But Bronte, do you think this fall in like aggregate royal family appearances, do you think that's indicative of this whole idea of a slimmed down royal family?
Well, it's been a big 10 years of change for the family. I mean, the Queen and Prince Philip had to step back and slow down in their royal duties in their final years, of course, because they were getting on in age and their health was declining. But also when I saw this, as you mentioned, I straight away thought of William and Kate, because when Meghan and Harry stepped back from royal duties quite abruptly a few years back, straight away it kind of fell to them to pick up that slack. And so again, now here we're seeing that, you know, the royals aren't out and about enough. They're getting some criticism for that. And I can just imagine William and Kate seeing that front page and being like, we have 3 kids, more from us. So I think at the moment we're still kind of seeing the dust settle on what this new era of the monarchy is going to actually look like. I think there's been so much focus on the coronation. I think after that we'll probably get an idea of how all their roles are going to shift. I do think they need to be out and about and really appeal to the younger generation, particularly Gen Z, of course. That's who they've really got to grab. But poor William and Kate, I just think about how much they're already doing, and it does fall to them. It really does.
Louise, just before I move on to the next point, I think that's a pretty fair assessment, don't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, the younger generations of Brits are the future of the royal family in a way. They're the ones who are going to support the monarchy and not sort of, you know, have some sort of campaign to make the country a republic, which of course will never happen in our lifetime, let's face it. But it's very important that they're reaching all parts of the community, not just the older, die-hard royal fans, as Bronte says.
Yeah. And Bronte, back to you. The old Fab Four is no longer, but apparently a new Fab Four may be emerging. What's happening?
Well, I absolutely love this. So we've got these really nice images of William, Kate, Zara and Mike Tyndall. So they're obviously cousins, and they're all out and about. They were out and about at the Easter Sunday service with the whole family at St George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. So what it looks like is just that they're having a good time together. What we know is that they actually have a cousins WhatsApp group chat, because Mike Tyndall has already revealed that. And I think that in the absence of Harry and Meghan, there's quite a big hole, probably personally as well as professionally, for William and Kate, and it's really nice that they have other people in the family to lean on who do have an understanding of what they're going through, who are similar in ages. The only disappointing part is that Zara and Mike aren't working royals, so they're not really able to pick up the slack, as the topic we were talking about just before. But I really think that they're a very good, solid support network for Kate and William, and it's really nice to see that they have that family support.
It really is. And Louise, just on that point of them not being, or the Tyndalls not being working royals, do you think that there helps the Cambridges be perceived as being more grounded and more everyday, I suppose?
Well, possibly, but I don't see this as a strategy move from the Cambridges. I think it's just an easy, genuine friendship. I mean, to the points we've been discussing, that, you know, to be a royal, who else knows the pressure of that other than another royal, in a way? And they're a similar demographic, similar age. The kids will grow up together, they can confide in each other. And it's just sad, really, because that should be Harry and Meghan that are fulfilling that role. You know, although Zara and Mike are very easygoing and great company to be around, it just sort of, again, pinpoints the gaping hole that is left by the Sussexes not sharing their children's lives with the Cambridges' children. It's very sad.